Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and enjoy this fanfic part 1. Now let's start the fanfic. Hinata stood looking at Naruto as Mizuki told him about the makeup exam. In her hand was his gift for becoming a genin, but since he didn't pass she couldn't give him his present, right? But the look on his face from not passing broke her heart even more and she wanted to cry for him, or even better go hug him. As she looked at him debating what to do, Naruto saw her. Hinata, what are you doing here? What's that in your hand? Shouldn't you be celebrating becoming a genin? He asked. Hinata looked in his eyes and blushed while swaying. Naruto-kun is talking to me. She thought to herself. Come on girl, this is the change we have been waiting for, don't blow it for us, say something before he leaves, another voice yelled in her head. Hinata blinked. Who are you? She asked. I'm your conscious, but enough about me. Our Naruto-kun is talking to us, answer him. And you better not faint again, the voice yelled at the end. Hinata gulped and looked back at Naruto in the eyes, who now was looking at Hinata as if she was losing it. Hi na Naruto-kun, she said. Good start. Just try not to faint, her conscious said. Well Hinata, are you going to answer my questions? Why are you here and what's that in your hand? He asked again. Well, Hinata started to panic. What do I do? Oh no, I'm going to blow my chance with Naruto-kun, she yelled in her head. The voice spoke up again. Calm down and push the gift out into his hands, it said. Hinata quickly shoved the gift into his hands. Here, she said. Naruto looked at her, then the gift confused. He slowly opened the gift. Inside the package was a pair of black shinobi pants and a black jacket with a note, congratulations from HH. Naruto looked at the gift and the now girl, who was turning a new shade of red. Hinata, what is this for? He asked. Well, it was for GR graduating, but ITH thought it would make you HH happy for N not GR graduating, she said. Naruto looked at her and smiled. Thanks Hinata, you're the best, he said looking at the new clothes. Hey wait, you're HH, you gave me these clothes I'm wearing on my 5th birthday, he asked. Why yes, she said. Kurenai, who had been watching the entire things because she was with Hinata since she wasn't at home yet, came from behind the building she was hiding behind. Hinata, she spoke out. Who are you? Naruto asked. I'm Kurenai, a new Junin, and have been watching Hinata since she entered the academy. What's your name? She said. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, the future Hokage, was all Naruto said. Well Naruto, I have to get Hinata home. I'm sure her father will be ready to find out if she is a genin or not. By the way, did you pass the test? Kurenai asked. Naruto looked down. No, I didn't. He then perked up. But that's okay because I get to make extra credit. And I have these awesome new clothes by me new best friend Hinata, he said with a big smile. BBB best FRFR friend? Hinata asked. Yay. Wait, you don't like me, do you? Naruto asked. No that's not it. IWWW will be your FRFRFR friend, Hinata said. Good luck on your extra credit. Naruto, when you pass tell me and us three can celebrate together on me and maybe get to know each other better, Kurenai said with a smile. Great. Well, I have to go do this extra credit for Mizuki-sensei, Naruto said and ran off. Kurenai shook her head. That boy, sometimes I think he is bipolar. Well, let's go Hinata, tomorrow we can celebrate with Naruto if he pass his extra credit, she said, leading Hinata towards the Hyuga compound. As they walked, Kurenai kept looking back towards the direction Naruto ran in, getting a bad feeling about this extra credit he spoke of. Hinata, do anything about this extra credit Naruto spoke of? She asked. No. But I heard something about a scroll and meeting in the forest. Why? Hinata asked. Well, I'm curious because once a student fail they don't get a makeup exam or extra credit. I think this might be a setup, Kurenai said. She looked down at Hinata and sighed. Okay, let's go follow him and make sure nothing bad happens, she said. Kurenai and Hinata found Naruto just before he ran into the forest carrying a giant scroll. What the hell is going on? That looks like one of the forbidden scrolls, Kurenai thought and picked up Hinata. much to the surprise of the genin, and sped up, catching Naruto by surprise just as he entered the forest. Naruto, I think you better explain this extra credit to me and do it now, she said. Naruto gulped, seeing the serious face Kurenai had. Well, Mizuki-sensei said if I can find a forbidden scroll in the Hokage's tower, take it, bring it here and learn at least one jutsu before he gets here at midnight, then I will have enough extra credit to pass the test and become a genin, then we can celebrate like you promised, he explained. The look Kurenai was giving the boy made even Hinata scared. Kurenai is so something wr wrong, Hinata asked. How to explain this? Kurenai thought. Basically, Naruto, Mizuki tricked you to steal that scroll for him, she said. What? Why would he do that? Naruto asked. I'm not sure, but don't worry, you and Hinata will find that out. Kurenai then stopped. Are you wearing the new clothes she bought you? She asked. Naruto blushed. Yes, I like them and they are comfortable, he said. You look nice in them. Anyway, this is the plan. I am going to help you two learn a few jutsus from the scroll, then you two will wait until Mizuki get there and try and get him to confess his reason for having you steal the scroll. Once you get that out of him, I will come and arrest, and you will be excused of stealing because you was misled by a teacher, Kurenai explained. Is that a good idea? I mean, stealing this scroll is bad enough, but if you teach us something out of it you could get in trouble, Naruto asked. Don't worry. I assure you everything will be okay, Kurenai said. Kurenai led them further into the forest and turned to Naruto. Well, let's get started, she said. Naruto opened the scroll and to his surprise another smaller, much smaller, scroll fell out addressed to him. What's this and why is it addressed to me? He asked Kurenai. I don't know, open it and read it, she said. Naruto nodded and read the scroll. He looked at Kurenai with an unreadable expression and read it again just to make sure he read it right. Not trusting his lackluster reading skills, he passed it to Kurenai. I know I'm not that good at reading. The academy wouldn't teach me how, and the old man taught me when he was available, so can you read it to make sure I read it right? He asked. Sure. Kurenai took the letter and read it quickly to herself and blinked, not believing it herself. Hinata, promise me you won't tell anyone about this, she said quietly. Naruto had a look of fear as he expected the worst. Hinata just looked confused. I promise, she said. Kurenai nodded and looked at the letter. To whoever finds this letter, I have committed a great crime, a crime so great that no father would be willing to face himself in the morning and not be able to face his son. To Naruto Uzumaki, my son, I am sorry. I can't express how sorry I am for how I ruined your life. I'm sure you're wondering what I'm talking about and who I am. Well, I am Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage, and your father Naruto. The crime I committed is the sealing of Kyuubi no Kitsune into him at his birth. Now Naruto, I know what you're thinking. Why you and what of your mother? Well, I chose you because as Hokage I can't ask anyone to do something I can't do myself. It pains me so much to write this, knowing that my wish for you to be treated as a hero will not be followed. I just hope you find one or two good friends who see you for who you are and not the Kyuubi. As for your mother, I faked your death, even creating a fake body, and told her you didn't make the birth. She tried to convince me that it wasn't true, but I couldn't let her live with the pain of seeing you every day with how much you look like me. It would have her from the inside out. Please believe me, I did what I thought was best to save you, your twin sister Carrie, and Kushina's life. Carrie is your twin sister. She is a few minutes older and look very much as much like Kushina as you look like me. Please be strong, and when you find your mother and sister tell them how sorry I am and I love them both. Love, Minato Namikaze. Kurenai looked at Naruto, who had a bunch of different emotions going through his eyes, and rightfully so. She would be the same way finding out this information that ruined his life. Hell, he has a mother and sister alive somewhere, and because of the damn Yondaime he was raised in a village where most of the people hated him, and those who didn't hate him never had time for him with their own lives and families. Kurenai was trying to think of ways to bring him and his family together, but had no way of finding Kushina. She looked at Hinata and wasn't at all surprised when she had tears pouring out of her eyes. Hinata herself looked just as mad at the Yondaime that she herself felt for the man. Kurenai, can you help me find my mother? Naruto asked in a hollow voice. Of course, I'm already thinking of a way to find her, but more importantly, what do you think about what you learned? Kurenai asked. Nothing. I want to find my mother. I'm sure if she was here now, none of these bastards in this village would dare treat me like they do now. My entire goal is finding my mother and sister, and until I find them, I don't care about this village or the people in it except for a few people, Naruto said in his hollow voice. And your father? Kurenai asked. I hope he rots in hell. Everything that happened to me is his fault. No mother, not knowing my sister, no friends, the loneliness, the glares, not being able to buy food, being kicked out the orphanage, being beat, everything, it's all his fault. And he is not my father. All I have and ever will have is a mother and sister, Naruto said, releasing all the hate he held over the years out. Now that he knew why he was in so much pain, he knew who to direct it at. Oh na Naruto-kun, I can't I imagine how hard this is FFF for you, Hinata cried, wrapping her hands around him in a hug, surprising both Naruto and Kurenai. Hinata, Naruto said. ISSS sorry F for NN not befriending you sooner, she said. Naruto gulped. Don't cry Hinata, really, you're my best friend and I'm glad to have you as a friend, he said. Naruto and Hinata, Kurenai said in a serious voice. The two looked at her, one still with tears in her eyes. We have important things to do right now, like busting Mizuki, who I can now tell you both is probably doing things to give the council a reason to Naruto since he holds Kyuubi, but without him saying this I can't do anything. Now let's get to learning some jutsus, she said. The two looked at each other and nodded. Good, the first jutsu is Kage Bushin. It is better suited for Naruto since he has more chakra than you, Hinata, with Kyuubi sealed in him, so for now only Naruto will learn it, but later I'll teach it to you, Hinata, Kurenai said. She showed Naruto the seals and how to concentrate his chakra. Now Hinata, the jutsu you're going to learn is Shuriken no Bushin. It's like Kage Bushin but used on shurikens or different thrown weapons. It takes precise control but not as much chakra, which will suit you very well, she told the Hyuga. Kurenai, I'm done, Hinata said after 30 minutes of practice and demonstrated the jutsu for her. Good job Hinata, Kurenai said, looking up from copying down the jutsus from the scroll. Now since we don't have much time, help Naruto master his jutsu, but don't try and learn it because it could use since you don't have enough chakra to use it yet, Kurenai said. An hour later Naruto leapt in the air happily. I'm finished Kurenai sensei, I learned it and Hinata helped me master it, he said. Good. Now Mizuki should be here soon, so get ready. Remember, I'm going to be close, so don't be afraid. Now how you two get the information is up to you, but make sure he admits everything, Kurenai said and vanished after tossing the forbidden scroll back to Naruto. Well Hinata, how do we do this? Naruto asked. I think you should try and get him to admit without me, she said. Naruto nodded. That makes sense. He won't be expecting you to be here, so if I'm by myself I can get him to talk and you can look at him with your Byakugan and tell if he is telling the truth or not, he said. Hinata, and a hidden Kurenai, looked impressed at him. Oh okay, Hinata said and jumped up in the trees to hide. 10 minutes later, Iruka jumped down in the clearing. Naruto, what the hell are you doing stealing the forbidden scroll? He yelled. Naruto looked at him and smiled. Well, Mizuki-sensei said if I can get it, bring it here, and learn one jutsu from it I will get enough extra credit to become a genin, he said. What? Why? There is no extra credit. You failed and will have to wait to take the genin test till next year, Iruka said. What, but I learned this super cool jutsu, Naruto said. Iruka looked at him. He does look like he was training hard. Well, let's see this jutsu, he said. Yes, let's see this jutsu, Mizuki said, jumping into the opening. Naruto smirked, did the hand signs, Waroke no jutsu, he said, and turned into a blonde version of himself. Both Iruka and Mizuki fell back with nosebleeds. Hinata blushed deeply, barely keeping herself from fainting. Kurenai had tick mark on her head at the perverted jutsu while wondering where he got the idea from so she could visit the pervert a visit. Naruto fell laughing at the two unfortunate males. Iruka and Mizuki got up. Naruto, stop with the pointless jutsus, Iruka yelled. It's not pointless. It worked on perverts like you too. If you was an enemy I could have you easily after you passed out from blood loss. Plus it is great for infiltration missions, Naruto said, defending his first created jutsu from every angle. Iruka could have came up with a reason for it being useless. Kurenai herself nodded at the points he made. I'll have to get him to complete it, and with clothes on, she thought to herself. Mizuki cleared his throat. Anyway, Naruto, give me the scroll, he said. Wait, Mizuki, why do you need to have it? Why not give it to Iruka-sensei? It's just going back to the Hokage to prove I got the extra credit, right? Naruto asked. I know, now just give me the scroll or you won't get the extra credit, and you will fail again, Mizuki said. Wait, there is no extra credit. He already failed and there is no make-up test, Iruka said. Don't listen to him. Naruto, think about it. What has Iruka did to help you the entire time you was in the academy? All he has done was fail you and yell at you when you ask for help, Mizuki said. Well, you did the same thing, Naruto pointed out. But I'm trying to help you become a genin. You can't become Hokage if you're still in the academy, right? Mizuki asked, not knowing that Naruto hated this village now. Naruto inwardly sneered. I think I'll take it back to the Hokage myself and explain the situation to him. I'm sure he will know what to do, he said. Wait. No, you can't. Even the old man is against you, Mizuki yelled. What are you talking about? The old man always listens to me and consider what I have to say, Naruto said. That's just a plow to get your trust. He is plotting to you. The entire village is plotting to you. Give me the scroll and we can leave the village together, Mizuki said. What, that's treason. Naruto, don't listen to him. All Mizuki is doing is trying to confuse you into hating everyone and become a traitor with him, Iruka yelled. Naruto, don't listen to him, he hates you just like everyone else, Mizuki said. Naruto, if I hated you, would I be trying to convince you to give the scroll back to the Hokage? Iruka asked. That's because he can use you giving the scroll back as motivation to have you ED, Mizuki said. Kurenai, Hinata, and Naruto was looking back and forth between the two, and it sounded like a little girl's fight and all three had headaches forming. Okay, enough, I don't care what either of your reasons are. Why should I believe either of you? Naruto asked. I can take you to Orochimaru-sama and he can make you much stronger than you will ever get in this village with people like Iruka holding you back, Mizuki said. Naruto scratched his head. Who is Orochimaru? Should I know him or something? I was kicked out of class that day, he asked. Mizuki and Iruka's sweat dropped. Kurenai wanted to send glares at Iruka but didn't because her growing anger would ruin their plans. Hinata just looked sad for Naruto. Well, Naruto, Orochimaru is a known traitor who experiments on people for his own gain, Iruka said. Well, I don't want anything to do with him, Naruto said and started to walk to Iruka. What, you're going to Iruka, who has been trying to sabotage you ever since you became an academy student because you ED his parents, Mizuki yelled. What are you talking about? I didn't. Anyone, Naruto said. You didn't, but Mizuki was cut off. Naruto, don't listen to him. What happened is not your fault, Iruka said. What's going on? Naruto asked. Well, the village kept this from you. But on the day you was born the Kyuubi was sealed in you and everyone in this village except me blames you for what happened that day. You evened your own mother, Mizuki said. Inwardly he smirked to himself thinking Naruto was his for the taking. Naruto blinked. Is that all? I already knew I had the Kyuubi inside me, he said shrugging. Naruto, listen, Iruka, the Hokage, and everyone else you can name blames you for everything. They are out to you, Mizuki yelled. Everyone? Naruto asked. Yes, everyone, Mizuki said. What about Hinata and Kurenai? They seem nice. What about them? Naruto asked. They are the main ones. They are able to get close to you because of them being so nice. You wouldn't expect anything from them, Mizuki said. The two named kunoichis wanted to Mizuki for even trying to put that lie into Naruto's head. And you and Iruka, where do you two fit in this again? Naruto asked. I told you already. Iruka wants you dead foring his parents. I want to save you, take you away from this village, Mizuki said in frustration. Write to someone who will experiment on me as if I'm a test subject, Naruto stated. What no? Mizuki said. Naruto, just do what you think is best, Iruka finally said. Fine, I will. I'm going to someone I can trust, Naruto said and turned away from both of them. Mizuki growled in frustration and pulled out a giant shuriken and threw it at Naruto. Naruto-kun, look out, Hinata yelled, jumping out of her hiding spot and running to Naruto. To both their surprise, Iruka jumped in front of them and was hit in the back with the shuriken. Iruka-sensei, Naruto said. Don't worry. Don't believe nothing he said. Yes, there are people who hate you, but there are also people who like you for you, Iruka said and painfully pulled the shuriken out of his back. Get back to the village, find the Hokage as fast as possible. That's not happening. My plans was known to many people. I hate to do this, but I have to you, Iruka and Hinata. He then smirked. If you would have stayed hidden, you would have got to see me, the Kyuubi brat, slowly and painfully, he said. Saint, stay away from Naruto-kun, Hinata yelled, getting into her Jiyuken stance. Mizuki smiled. How cute. He then took off towards the two. Kage Bushin no Jutsu, Naruto yelled from behind Hinata. Within a few seconds, the entire clearing was filled with Naruto's and Hinata's. Another step and you're dead, they all said. Mizuki looked around. What, how do you know this jutsu? He yelled. That's for me to know and you to die, Naruto said. Well, even if you can make one jutsu work, you will never be able to beat me, Mizuki yelled. Shuriken Bushin no Jutsu, Hinata yelled, and Mizuki was assaulted by 25 shurikens. Although caught by surprise, he was able to dodge most of them and started to go through hand signs. Don't move, your little game is over, Mizuki. For attacking my two friends I should you, but I think the Hokage will like to know what you said today, Kurenai said with a kunai to his neck. In the council's office, Kurenai explained everything that happened, minus Hinata knowing Shuriken Bushin no Jutsu and about the letter that Naruto got from the Yondaime. She told Naruto it was his decision to tell others or not, and she and Hinata will keep quiet about it. The Hokage listened to the story. I see. The Hokage leaned back in his seat. What to do? He asked himself. He then looked at Naruto and pulled out a Hitai-8. Well, since you proved to be able to sneak into the tower and take the forbidden scroll and learn a jutsu from it, you're now a genin. Congratulations, he said. Wait, we can't pass him for breaking into the tower, someone yelled. He didn't break in. The door was unlocked and it's not his fault. The Chunins in here couldn't keep an academy student out, Kurenai defended him to the surprise of everyone else. Who are you now, his spokesperson? Let him come up with his own excuses, Danzo said. No, I'm just protecting him from jerks like you, Kurenai said. Do you know? Danzo was cut off by Naruto. Minato, he said. What? The third asked. Minato Namikaze, Naruto repeated. Why are you mentioning our hero? You don't deserve to speak his name, Homura said. Naruto just ignored him and continued to look at the ground. Minato Namikaze, that bastard ruined my life, he said. How dare you? Kaharu was cut off. Minato Namikaze is my father and he sealed the Kyuubi no Kitsune in me and ruined my life in the process, Naruto said with his voice slowly raising. Excuse us, the third asked. Don't play dumb, you know what I'm talking about, Naruto said looking at the third. Naruto, I assure you, the third was cut off. Where is my mother? He asked. What? The third asked in confusion. Kushina Uzumaki. My mother. Where can I find her and my sister Carrie? Naruto asked. Well, you don't want to know, the third said. I don't want to know what that bastard told my mother I was dead, that he made a fake body of me so she would think I was, or that he condemned me to this hell of a life without my mother and sister, Naruto asked in spite. Well, you see, Naruto, the third said. Just tell me where to find my mother, Naruto yelled. The third ran her out of the village. You can find her, Wave, Sume said. Thank you, Naruto said and walked out the council room. Sume, why did you do that? The third asked. Why not? You kept him from his family long enough. I think he should have been reunited with her a long time ago, Sume said and left with the rest of the council. At Naruto's apartment, Kurenai walked to Naruto's apartment after making sure that Hinata was safely home. She knocked a few times and the door opened shortly after with Naruto looking at her. Hi Kurenai-sensei, he said. Hello, so you planning on going to Wave? She asked. Yes, Naruto answered. How? Do you know where Wave is? How will you survive by yourself? What will you do when you come face to face with someone ready to you before you reach Wave? And what will you do once you get there? Kurenai asked. Naruto stopped packing and looked at her. I don't know, I haven't thought that far yet, he said. Don't worry, I have. There was a knock on the door. In fact, there she is now, Kurenai said, opening the door. Thank you for coming, Anko, she said. What was so important that you had to interrupt my free time? Anko asked while looking at Naruto. Who is this cutie? She asked. That's Naruto and I need you to find his mother, Kurenai said. Anko looked shocked. That's Naruto. He look harmless to me. I find it hard to believe that he did all that stuff I heard, she said. He didn't. Most of what he did was harmless pranks, Kurenai said. Anko nodded. Well, who is his mother? She asked. Kushina Uzumaki, Kurenai said. I thought she was only had one kid, a daughter, Anko said. I know, that's what the third told everyone, close to Kushina that, but Sume told us she is in Wave, Kurenai told her. Kurenai-sensei, who is this? Naruto asked. This is Anko, my best friend, Kurenai said. Oh, well, hello, Naruto said. Hey, don't be afraid to speak when you see me. Also, just between us, those things about people say I do are false. I'm not that sadistic. Unless you piss me off, then you get to meet my snakes, Anko said. Now Naruto, Anko is going to go to Wave and find Kushina and Carry and tell her about you. Can she have the letter? Kurenai said. Naruto gave Anko the letter. Anko, you must give this letter to Kushina. It should bring her back for him, Kurenai said. Right. See you two in a few days, Anko said and vanished. I have to learn to do that, it's so cool, Naruto said. In Wave, Anko arrived on the small island after only a day's travel at her speed. She looked around. This does not seem like somewhere Kushina would live, she thought while walking through the village. As she walked, she noticed everyone ran into buildings or away from her. What's going on here? She thought. She pulled out a kunai and blocked a katana just before it hit her. What the hell? She yelled. Why is a Konoha Kunoichi here? Speak now or die, a female's voice said. I'm here for personal reasons, Anko said. Wrong answer. The lady then kicked at Anko but said Kunoichi was nowhere to be seen. Before she knew what happened, the girl was hanging in the air with her katana taken from her and a snake ready to bite her. Why are you attacking me? I don't take well to surprise attacks. Speak now. You're only alive because I don't liking kids, Anko said. A katana touched the back of Anko's. Drop my daughter and no one will get hurt, she heard. Fine. I'm too busy for this anyway, but you should advise her not to attack people for no reason, Anko said as her snakes released the girl and returned to her sleeves. The katana was removed from her neck. Anko, why are you here? The kunoichi asked. Anko spun around. Kushina, she said. Yes. Now what do you want? Kushina asked. You're the reason I'm here, Anko said. Kushina tilted her head to the side. Oh, why is that? She asked. The girl walked up to her. Mom, who is this? She asked. Anko, she is an old friend, Kushina said. Well, down to business, Anko said. Yes, down to business. I'm happy to see you, Anko, but don't think I'm going back to that place, Kushina said, clutching her daughter. Right. But first, can I ask your daughter's name? Anko asked. Kari Uzumaki, daughter of Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, Kari said proudly. The look in Anko's eyes darkened with hate and spite. is there something you want to say, Anko? Kushina asked, seeing the change. Yes, how can you allow her to tell people that she is related to that man, after what he did? Anko asked. Kushina glared at Anko. I may not know what has happened in the last 12 years, but I will not let you talk about my dead husband or. Kushina was cut off. But you will let your daughter claim that man, after what he did to your son, she yelled. Kushina was in short surprised, but even that was putting it nicely. Mom, what is she talking about? Carrie asked. I don't know, Kushina said quietly. Here read, it explains it all, in his way, including faking Naruto's death, Anko said. Kushina read the letter and was highly pissed. Carrie, get packed, she said. Mom, Carrie said. Your brother, Kushina stopped. He is alive, we was lied to by them both, she said. You mean Dad lied to us? Carrie asked. Yes, but not only that. Well, here read, Kushina said. Carrie read the letter and wanted to cry. Why did he do that? We could have been a family. I could have had my brother. He took him from me. I hate him, she yelled as loud as she could. I know I hate him also. Now we have no time to waste. I want to see my son, Kushina said. At the gate a day later, Kushina, closely followed by Carrie and Anko, walked through the gate. Where is he? Kushina asked. About this time I don't know, but lately he has been training with Kurenai and Hinata, so I guess one of them will know, Anko said. They ran through the village. Kushina at some point put Carrie on her back to move faster. It has been an hour and Kushina still haven't found him, and she was getting worried and pissed. Where the hell is he? She asked in frustration. Mom, look. Something is happening over there. Carrie pointed to the side. Kushina, with Carrie on her back, and Anko headed that way to see what was happening. Now, demon, there is no one to protect you, someone said. Let's just him and get our revenge, someone else said. Let's torture him first, someone else said. Then they all attacked him. No, leave my brother alone, they yelled, and say a girl with fire red hair throw herself over Naruto. If that didn't shock them, then what happened next certainly did, as Kushina was standing behind the two kids looking at them with hate. I'm going to you, but I'll make it fair. You have 5 seconds to run, she said, pulling her katana out its sheath. THTHTHTH, the Red Death. Run, they all yelled and turned tail, running in all different ways. 5 seconds later, a red streak was seen going through the villaging people. Nah, Naruto, Carrie said, getting off. Naruto. Yes, Naruto said nervously. I'm Carrie, your sister, she said, scared of how he would react. Naruto froze as he looked at her. He just looked into her eyes, then tears started to fall as he jumped onto her. Sister, I finally have a sister, he cried over and over. Anko watched with a smile as Kurenai came up. So that's his sister? She asked. Yup, Anko said. Where is Kushina? Kurenai asked. Well, some people was trying to Naruto, so, yeah, Anko said. I see. Oh, there she is coming this way, Kurenai said. Kushina stopped and looked at her children as they hugged and cried in each other's shoulder and smiled. Naruto, she said. Naruto released himself from Carrie and looked at Kushina. Mom, he asked through his sobs. Kushina got down on her knees and held her arms out. My baby, she said as he ran into her hug. Not soon after did Carrie join the hug, and they all hugged while crying. The entire scene was emotional as a few people who watched had tears in their eyes. Kurenai looked at Anko. Are you crying? She asked. Anko looked at Kurenai. He finally has a family. I wish I had one when I was his age. I know how it is growing up hated by everyone. If this don't bring tears to someone's eyes, they are heartless, she said. Kurenai just nodded. After they stopped crying and was calm enough to talk, and Anbu appeared and grabbed Naruto. Release my son or die, Kushina said immediately. He has been summoned to the council office. This has nothing to do with you, the Anbu said. It has everything to do with me. Now I won't repeat myself. Unhand my son or I will you before you have the chance to leave this area, Kushina said. Behind the mask, the Anbu smirked and tried to shunshin away, but was stopped by Kushina's katana going through his back. I told you to unhand my son, she said. She stood up. Well, let's go you two, she said. Wait, Mom, it's okay if I call you that, right? Naruto asked. Of course it is, Kushina said. Okay, Mom, I have to introduce you to one of my best friends, Hinata, Naruto said. Of course, where is she? Kushina asked. Naruto thought. I don't know, he finally said. Carrie giggled. You don't know where your girlfriend live at, brother, she teased, poking him in the side. She is not my girlfriend, Naruto said. Sure, whatever you say, little brother, she teased in a sing-song way. Mom, Naruto whined. Kushina just laughed. Let's find this Hinata girl, she said. I know Kurenai-sensei should know where she is with her all the time, Naruto said. At this time Hinata should be at the Hyuga compound, Kurenai piped in. A Hyuga? Kushina asked. Yay, they have weird eyes, Naruto said. Naruto, don't talk about people, Kushina chided. So Kurenai led them to the Hyuga compound while Naruto talked loudly to Kushina and Carrie. Then Tem kissed me, can you believe that, he said while Kushina and Carrie laughed. Naruto, didn't he get pushed from behind and fall forward, and wasn't you leaning over his desk taunting him, trying to prove to Sakura you can beat Sasuke in a fight? Kurenai asked. Kurenai-sensei, whose side are you on? Naruto asked. Carrie laughed again. So my little brother has a crush, she asked. It's not a crush, Naruto said. Oh, then what do you like about her? Kushina asked. Well, she is smart and pretty, Naruto said. What else? Kushina asked. What do you mean? Naruto asked. What else do you like about her? Kushina clarified. Well, that's it, Naruto said. Kurenai smirked. What do you like about Hinata? She asked. Well, he took a breath while Carrie and Kushina leaned in slightly. She is beautiful, kind, smart, has a pretty voice, helpful, funny, doesn't hit me, and got me a present even though I didn't become a genin at first, but it's fine because I am a genin now, he said. Carrie smiled. Sounds like you like Hinata more than this Sakura girl, she said. What? Hinata is just my second friend, that's why I know so much about her, Naruto said. You only started talking to her 3 days ago, Kurenai pointed out. Traitor. You're a traitor, Kurenai-sensei, Naruto said in a fake hurt voice. The three laughed at him. They arrived at the Hyuga compound. Neji, can you get Hinata? Kurenai asked the boy as he passed them. Neji looked at them and glared at mainly Naruto before turning and walking away. What crawled up his pants? Carrie asked. He is always like that. Plus I pranked most Hyugas by turning their clothes pink, Naruto said. I bet that was so awesome. We should do some things together, Carrie said. Yay. I tried to talk Hinata into helping me but she wouldn't, Naruto said. Great, just what I need. 2 pranksters to look after, Kushina mumbled to Kurenai, who laughed. Hinata came out by herself. Hey Hinata, look, it's my mom and sister, Naruto yelled once he saw her. Naruto, stop yelling, Kushina chided lightly. Okay, Mom, Naruto said and grabbed Carrie's arm and pulled her while running up to Hinata. Hey Naruto, I know how to walk, and stop pulling my arm, that hurts, Carrie said. Hey Hinata, look, it's my sister. Her name is Carrie. We are twins, but I'm the best twin, of course, Naruto said. Carrie rolled her eyes. Don't pay him any attention. I'm Carrie Uzumaki, the older and smarter of the two. I'm also the heir to the Uzumaki clan, she said. Hi, I'm Hinata, Hi Hyuga H, heir to the Hi Hyuga clan, she said. Carrie smiled. This is our mom Kushina, current head of the clan until she passes the title on to me, she said. Kushina rolled her eyes. You still have years before you're ready for that title, Carrie, and we have to catch Naruto up on clan training, she said. I know that, Mom, Carrie said. Carrie then looked back at Hinata. Want to be my first friend my age? She asked. Hey, what about me? Naruto asked. Carrie smacked him lightly in the head. You're my brother, you don't count, she said. Naruto stuck his tongue out at her. Carrie replied by sticking hers out at him. Kushina shook her head. I always wondered what you two would be like if you was together. Now I know you act like me and Anko did when we was kids, she said. Kurenai laughed. I was always the peacemaker. Looks like Hinata have that role now, she said. Well, we will see you later, Hinata. I have to some council members, Kushina said and grabbed her kids and vanished via Shunshin. Is she really going to them? Hinata asked. Probably not. Unless they anger her, Kurenai said. In the council's office, Kushina and her two kids appeared in the room. Where the hell have you been, damn demon brat? You know how long we have been waiting, one of the council members yelled. Naruto, Carrie, and Kushina all turned their cold blue eyes on him. I don't answer to anyone in this village but my mother and Kurenai-sensei, Naruto spat out at the council. Call my brother a demon again and I'll make sure you never use your tiny shinobi again, Carrie said. I'm already pissed off, so you all better watch what you say about my son while I'm around unless you want to die, Kushina said. The council just looked wide-eyed and mouths on the floor. Kushina, the third asked. Shut up. I should you now, but luckily for you Naruto has told me that you was nice, sometimes, to him, but you are on a thin line, Kushina told him. I can't believe you was found so fast. I told Anko you was in Wave because that's the last place I knew you was at, but, well, I'm just glad she found you, Sum said. Me too. Now what do you all want? I have things to teach me, son, Kushina said. Well, since he is Minato's son, he is going through the Clan Restoration Act, Homura said. I told you I'm not that man's son. I only have a mother and sister. I have no relation to him, Naruto spat out. Kushina smirked. Use that man's name in my presence again and I'll cut your tongue out. He is and never will be part of my family, she said. And my brother is not doing anything like that unless I allow him, Carrie said. And who are you to allow him to do something? Danzo asked in a sarcastic tone. Heir to the Uzumaki clan and older sister to Naruto, so no one will date my little brother without my permission, Carrie stated. Heir? Then that means that you. Koharu was cut off. My sister is not a damn baby making factory, and if you even suggest her going through that, then all your entire family, Naruto said darkly. Kushina and Carrie smiled at that. Well, since your mother is here is everything you inherit from Minato, the third said. I don't want it, Naruto said. The council looked at him as if he was crazy. Do you know what you inherit? Inoichi asked. I don't care, I don't want anything to do with that bastard who ruined my life, Naruto repeated. Kushina thought. Give it to me, everything he left my son, I want it all, she said. Carrie and Naruto looked at her in shock that she would want anything that has to do with him. She just gave them a look that told them not to question her. Good, I knew you would see that Minato didn't cause any harm in what he did, the third said, giving her a giant scroll and a set of keys. What I do is none of your damn business. Let's go, you two, Kushina said and walked out the room, leaving a shocked council and Hokage. At the Namikaze estate, Kushina walked up to it with her kids. If you find anything in here you want, take it, she told them and walked into the building. They walked out of the estate, each only carrying a few things. Most of the things was pictures of Kurenai when she was younger, and some stuffed animals that she bought for them. Okay, you two have everything you want. They nodded. Good. She went through some hand signs. Kaden. Great fireball no jutsu, she said and lit the estate on fire and watched it. She took the keys and scroll she got from the Hokage and tossed it into the fire. You bastard, you ruined my son's life. I hope you rot in whatever level of hell you are in. Me and my family wipe our hands and blood of you forever, she said as she cut her hand with a kunai and dripped some blood on the fire. She gave the kunai to Naruto and Carrie to do the same. Once they was done, she turned to walk away from the estate. She was surprised at how many people was there, including the clan heads and heirs, plus the Hokage and a few ANBUs. What? She asked. What did you do? The third asked. We just wiped ourselves clean of that bastard who ruined our lives, Kushina answered with no emotion. Both Carrie's and Naruto's eyes was just as emotionless as Kushina's. Why? The third asked. You know why you was in on the entire thing. You're lucky I don't, you, Kushina said. You know this is a crime, I can put you in jail for this, he motioned to the burning estate. Hell if I care if it's a crime or not, as far as you're concerned I'm not even a kunoichi of this village, and I'm taking my son away from this place, Kushina said. You wouldn't dare, your husband died to protect this village, the third said. Kushina shook her head at him. You don't get it, do you? He died for what, a village, the same village that tried to my son, yet what did he do for us? Nothing but tear us apart and leave my son's life in your hands, someone who has failed as a sensei and a father on so many levels. Like I said, we wiped our hands in blood of him and he is nothing to us. He means as much to me and my kids as a rogue ninja that drowned trying to run from Kiri but ran out of chakra, she said. But he is, the third was cut off. Nothing. Dead and gone, he means absolutely nothing to me, Kushina said and walked away with her kids following. Sensei's house, a Junin said. Kakashi, you're as dead to us as he is, so stay away from my family, Kushina said. What did I do? Kakashi asked. You let my son get treated like shit. You knew he was alive. You was there when that man lied and didn't say anything. You should follow in your father's footsteps and yourself, Kushina said. He said it was for the best, Kakashi tried. The best for who? Kushina challenged. For you so you wouldn't have to look at Naruto and remember his face. Kakashi was cut off. Bullshit, and you know it. What about my son and daughter? They are Ing twins. What made his decision so right? All I saw was a coward and that's now dead. Like I said, I'm through with him, Kushina said. But, Kakashi was cut off. We are done, there is nothing to discuss, Kakashi. He is nothing to us, not even a memory, and don't keep trying to defend him or you will join him in hell, Naruto said while Kari held her katana to his neck. I for one agree with you, Kushina, Sume said. Kushina smiled. Loyalty is important to me, she said. If you want to talk about, you know what, I can always be found in the compound, Sume said and walked away. Let's go. I have to fit Naru for a katana and make a training schedule for him, Kushina said and led them away, leaving a lot of shocked people behind the three. Kushina pulled out some money and gave it to Kari. Go buy some clothes while I get him fit for his katana, she said. Okay mom, can I buy some new clothes also? Kari asked. Yes, meet us at the park, Kushina said. Kari ran off and Kushina turned to Naruto. Where did you live? She asked. Naruto led her to the apartment. The old man said that it was the best he could get, he said. Kushina looked at the apartment in disbelief. You're joking, right? She asked. No, see, come look. Naruto led her into the apartment. He opened the door and Kushina looked around. I don't have anything besides a bed and a few chairs I found around in the village, Naruto told her. Kushina walked around the apartment barely holding her anger. She picked up a picture frame. Inside was a picture of Naruto, a drawing of a bigger Naruto, and a picture of a lady with blue eyes and blonde hair. There was a smaller girl who looked like the taller girl except she was Naruto's size. So this is what you thought your family would look like? She asked. Naruto looked at the picture. I need to make a few corrections to it now that I know what my family looks like, he said. Kushina smiled. Let's leave this place. I can't believe he had you live in this place, it could fall on you at any moment, she said and walked out the apartment with the picture. The two walked to the park and Kushina sat on the bench and pulled out a scroll. Naru, stand in front of me and don't move, she told her son. Naruto did as told and Kushina took out a strap and wrapped it around his waist and adjusted it. Perfect. Now for your katana, you won't get it until you learn the first dance, but I will give you this practice katana so you can get used to holding and carrying a katana, she said. Okay mom, I will learn it as fast as possible, Naruto said. Kushina kissed his forehead. I don't doubt you will, she said. A few minutes later Kari walked up. Hey, I'm done. Oh look, Naru-chan got his practice katana, she said. So Kari, did you get the new clothes? Kushina asked. Yup. I think we should put them on now, Kari said. Okay, let's find a restaurant that you two can change into your new clothes, Kushina said. I know the perfect restaurant, Naruto said and led them to Ichiraku Ramen. This is the best restaurant in the entire village, Naruto said. Naruto, is that you? Ayame called from behind the counter. Yup, and look, I found my mother and sister, Naruto said. Ayame looked up to see Kushina and Carrie. Hey, you look familiar, she said to Kushina. My name is Kushina. I used to play with you when you was still a baby, Kushina said. I remember that. You was my favorite babysitter, Ayame said, hugging Kushina. Well, Ayame, this is my oldest Carrie. She is Naruto's twin, Kushina said. Hello, Ayame said. Nice to meet you, Ayame. Any friend of Naru-chan's is a friend of mine, Carrie said. Carrie, stop calling me that, Naruto complained. Carrie just stuck her tongue out at him. Wait, if you're his mother, who is his father? Ayame asked. They don't have a father, Kushina said. What, why not, is he dead? Ayame asked, confused. Here, read. Kushina gave her the letter from Minato. Ayame read the letter and looked horrified. Dad, get out here, she yelled. Tsuki came out the back. What's wrong, Ayame? He asked. Ayame shoved the scroll into his hands. Read, she said. Tsuki read the scroll. Is this true? He asked. Very true, Tsuki, Kushina said. Kushina? Why, I thought. What made him do that? Tsuki asked. Don't know, and I don't care. But we are no longer related to him, Kushina said as she glared at the picture of the yondaime that hung in the restaurant. Tsuki saw that and grabbed the picture and threw it out the restaurant. Ayame, get all the pictures that have him in them and burn them, he said. Naru and Carrie, go change into your new clothes, Kushina said. 5 minutes later, Naruto and Carrie came out of the bathrooms. They both was wearing all white, but where Naruto had on pants, Carrie was wearing a skirt that reached her knees. Naruto was wearing a long-sleeve shirt with white fingerless gloves. Carrie was wearing a shirt that stopped just above her belly with a jacket over it that stopped at her waist and full gloves. Both had their katana on their left hip hanging loosely. Carrie stood there with her hands on her hips while Naruto stood with his hands crossed over his chest, and both had serious looks on their faces. Ayame looked at them. Wow, if it wasn't for the small changes to your outfits you would look like the same person, she said. Yay. Good thing their hair isn't the same color or it would get confusing when they dress the same, Tsuki said. Well, let's go, Naru has a lot of training to catch up on. Carrie, put the rest of your clothes in a scroll, Kushina said. What, Naruto is leaving? Ayame asked. Well, yay, Kushina said. Ayame walked up to Naruto and hugged him gently. I'm going to miss you, she said. I'll visit you, Naruto said. I know, but I'm still going to miss you, Ayame said, then kissed him on the cheek. For good luck, she said. Carrie giggled. Naru-chan is the ladies' man. First Hinata, now Ayame, she said. Carrie, stop calling me that, and I'm not a ladies' man, Naruto whined. Ayame laughed. That's not a bad thing, Naruto. She then kissed his cheek again. She then hugged Carrie. Much to her surprise, take care of him for me, she said. Of course I will, Carrie said. Well, let's go, Kushina said and walked out the restaurant followed by her kids. They walked through the village getting looks from everyone. A lot saw Naruto and sent glares at him, but didn't say anything with his mother around. As they walked they passed Kurenai, Anko, and Hinata, who followed them in confusion. As they reached the gate they was stopped by ANBUs who appeared in front of them. Get out of my way, Kushina said. We have our orders and they don't come from you, the Anbu captain said. You have a choose, move or die, Kushina said. You are free to leave but Naruto isn't, the third said from behind them. And who are you to tell me what I can and can't do with my son? Kushina asked, not even turning to look at him. Everyone in the gathering crowed, except a few, was shocked at her disrespect for the Hokage. But the Hokage wasn't even bothered by it. You're not a kunoichi of the village, but he is now a shinobi of the village, so he will not leave without my permission, he said. Like I said, you are not going to stop me from taking my son where I please, Kushina said, still not looking at him. The third puffed on his pipe. If it involves shinobi of this village then I will do just that, he said. Kushina's hand went towards her katana and Carrie quickly grabbed Naruto and moved him out of the way. Don't try and stop mom if she uses that katana. It's a katana from her summon and only those who have mastered the sage training get one. It's a dragon blade, and when it's out of its sheath then some blood has to be drawn as a sacrifice. Mom never uses it unless she is either extremely pissed or serious, she told him. The katana's blue blade came through the air in a glorious arch and split the tip of the third Hokage hat and his entire pipe but the part in his mouth in half. Try and stop me, if you think you can, because next time my dragon won't miss her mark, Kushina said with her eyes blazing with her dujutsu. Naruto's eyes widen. We have a bloodline, he asked Carrie. Yup. It's called the Element's Eye. It grants us the ability to use every element at our will, and those who have mastered it like mom can even use elements that are only known to those to certain clans, like ice, lava, wood, crystal, and others like that, Carrie said. Awesome, I can't wait to unlock it, Naruto said. I can't wait until you unlock it either. I'm only on the third element so far. It takes a lot of training to unlock the 5 commas, Carrie said. The third gulped. He wasn't stupid, he knew how dangerous Kushina was when she was protecting someone, and add in that she had her dragon katana out and her dujutsu active. Yes, the third knew she was about business. Kushina, let's talk about this, he asked. There is nothing to talk about. I said it so many times already, the only reason I will allow my kids back in this village is because of the few friends they have made here. Kushina said, then ripped the Hittite off Naruto's head and threw it at the third. My son is not a shinobi of this village, she said. If you walk out of here I will have to mark him as a missing nin, the third said. And anyone who comes after my son will be greeted with my full wrath, and you will get their insides nicely packed every time, Kushina said. She then turned and walked out the gate. Carry Naruto, she said without stopping. The two ran to catch up with her. Sume looked over at Kurenai in confusion. What happened to make her this mad? She asked. You don't want to know. Trust me, if you know what Minato said in his letter to Naruto you would be just as mad, Kurenai said. I knew he sealed Kyuubi in Naruto and the Hokage ran Kushina out the village before she could get to Naruto, but I think I need to know exactly what was said by Minato, Sume said. Okay. Kurenai then told Sume exactly what was written to Naruto by Minato. Sume was shocked. That's worse than treason, and the third still defends his actions, she said. Kushina sliced her katana across her hand, then swung it to get the blood off before she put it away. Carry, you're in charge of Naru's training until he unlocks his dujutsu and is a level 1 kenjutsu user, Kushina said. Okay mom. Well Naru-chan, since we are stopping here for the night let's get started, Carrie said. Okay, what first? Naruto asked. Well, Carrie thought about what she learned first, taijutsu and chakra control, she said. Okay, but I'm not really good in those two, Naruto told her. Don't worry Naru-chan, with me and mom you will catch up fast, Carrie said. Naruto stood with Carrie and she went over the basic taijutsu style with Kushina cooking dinner while watching to make sure that the two made no mistakes. Naruto watched everything Carrie did closely and nodded. Kage Bushin no Jutsu, he said. Okay, let's try and do exactly what Carrie did, he told the 20 clones, surprising Carrie. She turned to Kushina. Mom, he knows Kage Bushin. Can I learn it please? She asked with her puppy eyes. Fine. Naru, teach your sister Kage Bushin, Kushina said. Okay mom. Naruto said, happy that he knew one thing that Carrie didn't. I'll teach you the Rasengan after I learn it. It's a jutsu that he created but mom perfected it and made it even better than he ever could, Carrie said. Naruto instructed Carrie on how to perform Kage Bushin. After a few tries Carrie had it down and was working on mastering it. She wasn't able to make as many as Naruto but was able to make 7 solid Bushins and she was proud of herself. Hey, I have an idea. Why not divide your clones up so they are in groups of 5 and 5 of my clones will instruct them in so you can master our basics faster. This way we can learn more about each other, Carrie said. Good idea, Naruto said. The two sat around the fire Kushina made and looked at each other. My favorite color is blue. I have been training with mom since I was 7, and now I have to train you in everything I learned since then as fast as possible. But with Kage Bushin it should only take a few months at best. The only jutsu I have that I can use freely right now is Rasengan, but now that I know Kage Bushin that is going to change fast. I don't have many friends because we travel around a lot, but my best friend is this kunoichi from Suna. Her name is Tamari. I became a level 1 Kenjutsu master just last week. I can't wait to start teaching you our style, it's so fun to learn. Carrie was stopped before she could continue to ramble on. That's enough, Carrie, anything else is pointless for him to know, and you can't tell him everything, you need your own secrets, Kushina said. Right, your turn, Naru-chan, Carrie said. Well, my favorite color is orange. I have been kicked out the academy every year but one. I was kicked out of every class every day since I joined. I'm not a good reader. I don't know much really. I know how to write pretty good because the old man always gave me scrolls and letters to copy. The only jutsu I know is Kage Bushin. I can do the Henjan Kawarimi, and I didn't know I had a family until a few days ago. I didn't even know your names, Naruto said. I can assume you was treated like dirt by everyone but only a few people in that village, Kushina asked. Yes, Naruto answered. Kushina nodded. Well, my favorite color is red. I'm an elite Junin with Kage level skills. I'm a Kenjutsu master. I'm the first person to mastered our Dujutsu to the degree that I'm the only to ever use of the crystal element. I have also mastered every jutsu I know. I know around 1500 jutsus, many of them I won in bets with friends and people I met during my travels. I'm only 29 years old and had U2 when I was 16, but don't tell anyone that. I have scrolls on every jutsu that I have mastered which I will give to you two as you grow in strength and skill. I will let you two sign my Ryu contract, and my life goal is to help you two destroy Konoha for what they did to our family, while making a new family, she said. Naru, if you want I can change your hair color from blonde to red like mine and Carrie's, she added. Really? Naruto asked. Yes, but only if you want to, Kushina answered. I want to, Naruto said. Kushina did the jutsu to change Naruto's hair color. Now this will last until you end the jutsu. It also have no effect on your natural hair color, so if you cut your hair it will grow back blonde, she told him. Thanks, Mom, Naruto said. Carrie nodded. You look good with red hair, she said. 1 month later. After watching her twins as they trained together, Kushina was surprised at how well they worked together, and how fast Naruto learned the basics and was catching up to Carrie faster than she thought, but Kage Bushin and not training Carrie in anything new helped him catch up. Carrie also used the extra practice to refine her skills in the basic taijutsu and kenjutsu style. Naruto also mastered Rasengan just as fast as Carrie did. For some reason that Kushina couldn't figure out, Naruto didn't use his Kage Bushins to help him master it. To Kushina's surprise, Carrie helped Naruto perfect his Warok no Jutsu and then he taught it to her. Soon the two walked around transformed as each other to try and confuse Kushina, but for the life of the two couldn't confuse their mother. She just laughed and said a mother always knows her kids. They set up camp outside Kumo. Stay here and continue to work on the basics and chakra control, I'll be back, Kushina said, then walked off. Well, Naru-chan, let's get started, Carrie said, getting into their family taijutsu style. You're on, I'm going to beat you this time, Naruto said. You wish, Carrie said. With Kushina. Kushina ran around the village's wall looking for a way to enter without being seen when she saw an abandoned building collapse. She walked over to the building and saw two shinobis dressed in long black robes with red clouds on it with a stray hat over their face. She looked closer and saw that they was carrying a kunoichi who looked almost dead. Kushina thought. Summoning no jutsu, she said. I need a distraction, she said, pointing to the shinobis. Leave it to me, the Ryu said, and flew off. The Ryu flew towards the shinobis and caused a mini tornado. Kushina used this chance to run up and grab the kunoichi. Pinello, Kushina said, jumping in the air. Pinello swooped down and Kushina landed on her back and flew her back to the forest, surprising Naruto and Carrie. Thanks, Pinello. I wonder who we just saved, Kushina said. Pinello looked at the kunoichi. I believe this is a Jinchuriki in that group that tried to capture her as Akatsuki. From what I was told by the Ryu Council, they are a group of Rouge ninjas out to capture all the Jinchuriki. I would suggest you go out to find them before they can inform a team to fight these people, the Ryu said. So you mean Naru-chan has more to worry about than Konoha? Carrie asked. Well, I guess it's time to up the training. You both are going to sign the Ryu contract once you master the third kama of our dujutsu, Kushina said. But I haven't unlocked it yet and Carrie is already on the third kama, Naruto whined. I realize that, so you have a lot of catching up to do, Kushina said. Mom, should you try and heal her? Carrie asked. I guess that would be a good idea, Kushina said, going through some hand signs and started to heal the kunoichi to the best of her abilities. A few days later, Kushina was in the middle of training both Naruto and Carrie when the kunoichi woke up. Oh my head, she said. She looked around and walked out the tent. Excuse me, what's going on here? She asked. Oh, you're woke. Well, my name is Kushina Uzumaki. These are my twins Carrie and Naruto. We came here looking for someone to help Naru learn to control the power from Kyuubi, but before I went into the village I saw two shinobis carrying what looked like a dead kunoichi. Who was you? Me and my summon saved you, Kushina explained. You're not from Kumo yet you risked your life to save me. Why? The kunoichi asked. Well, I was taught you can always make friends in the most unlikely situations. Besides, if it was me I would want someone to save me, even if we wasn't from the same village, Kushina said. She looked at her. Well, thank you. My name is Yugito Ni, she said. Well, nice to meet you, Kushina said. Likewise. Now I assume you want something for saving me, so, what is it? Yugito asked. Well, besides helping Naruto gain some control over his demon, I would like to ask you join us on our travels and help train those we meet and allow to join us, Kushina said. Yugito looked like she was thinking this over. And Kumo didn't send anyone to try and help me? She asked. Nope, Kushina said. Not even or be the other Jinchuriki in the village. Together we could have those Akatsuki shinobi, Yugito said. Sorry, but no one was there to help you until I came at the last minute, Kushina said. Fine, I'll join you on your quest, as long as it don't take us through Kumo. I want them to be surprised when they find out I'm still alive, Yugito said. Deal, Kushina said. Now if I'm correct he has Kyuubi in him, right? Kushina nodded. Well, he will never have the control I have on Nibi, but I can help him control at least 3 if not 4 tails, but anything after that and he will lose all control over Kyuubi and will have to rely on the seal to keep him back, Yugito explained. That's better than what he has now, Kushina said. Mom, he unlocked his dujutsu, Carrie yelled in excitement. Dujutsu? The Gensogen, I have heard about it but never seen it, Yugito said. I have mastered it past what anyone previously have been able to, but I'm still a long way from complete mastery of it, Kushina said. Can anyone ever truly be a master of a dujutsu? There is always something that one person with it can do that others can't, Yugito said. I agree, and only Uchihas try and gain something that they can't control, Kushina said. Can I suggest we hit the road? I am pretty sure that those 2 Akatsuki members are still looking for me, Yugito said. Yes, let's head out, Kushina said. In Wave. The group traveled straight to Wave without stopping to train, so they made it there pretty fast. Yugito went to get a hotel while Kushina took Naruto and Carrie to train. She stood in front of them. Okay Naru, before you can use your Gensogen effectively you need to learn to use your wind element, she said. How do I do that, Mom? Naruto asked. Well, you need to learn to access your element chakra, Kushina said. Okay, I'm ready. What first? Naruto asked. Make some clones, Kushina said. How many? Naruto asked. Kushina looked around and pointed to 2 trees. That many, she said. Naruto looked at the trees. Yes, ma'am, he said, and created a ton of clones. Carry me, and you need to keep a close eye on these clones. If you see one starting to use Kyuubi's chakra, disperse it, Kushina said. Yes, ma'am, Carrie said, creating 7 clones. Kushina also created some clones to help while she watched Naruto to give him pointers if he needed them. And her later Yugito walked up. I got us 3 rooms, she said. Thanks, Kushina said. What's going on? Yugito asked. Naruto is doing his element training. He needs to slice a leaf in half using only his wind chakra. Me and Carrie are making sure he don't use Kyuubi's chakra, Kushina said. Oh, Yugito said. A few hours later Kushina dispersed her clones. Naru, that's enough for today, she said. Aw mom, I'm so close I can feel it, Naruto complained. I know, but you need to process what your clones was able to do. Don't worry, we will be here all day tomorrow, Kushina said. Okay mom, Naruto said. In Konoha, Sume was sitting at the dinner table after Kiba was asleep thinking about what she could do to help Naruto when Hana walked up. What's wrong mom? She asked. Nothing sweetie, Sume said. Yes it is, you have not been yourself month, something is wrong, Hana said. Sume said, it has to do with Naruto, she said. You mean with him leaving? What's wrong with that? People in this village never cared about him, Hana said. I know, but it's not just that, Sume said. What then? Hana urged. It's the Hokage. He not only lied to Kushina about Naruto being dead, he supported the Yondaime when he hatched this idea to make Naruto's life hell, Sume said. What did the Hokage say when you asked him about it? Hana asked. It was for the best like he does with everything else, Sume said. So, why are you stressing over it? There is nothing you can do to change the past, Hana asked. I know, but I should have been more aware. I should have seen that Naruto was Kushina's son, Sume said. Mom, it's the past over and done and Naruto has his family. The only thing we can do is move on and help them any way we can, Hana said. Yes I know, but still I feel kind of responsible, Sume said. Why not send a scroll to them to see how they are doing or something, Hana suggested. Good idea, Kuro, Sume called. The Inu ran into the kitchen. What, he asked Sume. Can you deliver a scroll to Kushina Uzumaki? I don't know where she is now but I'm sure you can find her, Sume asked. Of course, Kuro said. In wave 3 days later. Naruto was currently working on slicing 2 leaves at the same time, one in each hand. He worked hard over the last 3 days to be able to slice 1 leaf without concentrating on it. Kushina, Carrie, and Yugito had taken to making sure none of his clones accessed Kyuubi's chakra when Kuro ran up to Kushina. Kushina took the scroll off his neck and read it. Tell Sume I'll think about it, she told the Inu. Kuro barked and ran off. Mom, what was that about? Carrie asked. Nothing we need to worry about right now, Kushina said. Mom, I got it, one of Naruto's clones yelled. Disperse and give your information to the others, Kushina ordered. The clone did as told and soon all the clones was able to split the 2 leaves. Got it mom, look, all the Narutos yelled showing her the 4 halves. Good, now you need to learn to expel your wind chakra for a long period of time, Kushina said. She then looked around. See that waterfall? She asked. Yes, Naruto answered. You're going to have to slice the water in half, Kushina said. What, how do I do that? Naruto asked. Well, wind is able to cut through anything. All you have to do is focus and learn to expel your wind chakra and you will cut it, Kushina said. If you say so mom, Naruto said, not convinced that it was possible to cut water. 2 days later, Naruto and Carrie was walking through wave. Man, this place is boring, Naruto said. I know. Want to meet mom's friend Tsunami? Carrie asked. Sure, why not? Naruto said. Carrie led him through wave and came to a small house and knocked on the door. It was opened by a young woman about 24. Hello Carrie, what brings you here and where is Kushina? She asked. Hello Tsunami-san. My mom isn't with us. This is my brother Naruto, Carrie said. Oh well, hello Naruto, Tsunami said. Hello, Naruto said. Come in, Tsunami said. They walked in and saw a bunch of men sitting around a table making some kind of plans. We're not interrupting anything, are we? Carrie asked Tsunami. Oh no, Dad is just making plans to build a bridge to connect to the mainland, Tsunami said. A bridge, cool, can I help? Naruto asked. Carrie rolled her eyes. You have to get Mom's permission first, she said. Come on Carrie, we can help. Mom will be happy to have some time to herself, Naruto said. We don't put me in this, I'm having no part of it, Carrie said. But you're the smart twin, you have to help, Naruto said. Why is that? Carrie asked. Naruto shrugged. I haven't thought of a reason yet, he said. You're helpless, Carrie said. So can we help build the bridge? Please see? Naruto asked. Fine if it will get you to stop with these stupid antics, Carrie said. You're the best sister I have, Naruto said, hugging Carrie. I'm the only sister you have. I get the stupid award by default, Carrie said. You know you want it, Naruto said. No I don't, Carrie said. I'll get you two something to eat, Tsunami said. Thank you, Carrie said. She looked back at Naruto. What? She asked. How do we build a bridge anyway? He asked. I don't know, ask them, Carrie replied. Naruto walked up to them. How do you build a bridge? He asked. The men looked at him. Well, it takes time and boulders, lots and lots of boulders, one said. Oh, when do we start building it? Naruto asked. Tomorrow, one of them said. What are you talking about? You're not helping us, one of the men said. Why not? I can lift a boulder by myself, Naruto asked. It's fine, I know his mother. If he is anything like her and Carrie, then you won't win this, Tazuna said. So you're going to let this kid help us? The man asked. Better than facing his mother, Tazuna said. The next day, Naruto and Carrie arrived at the spot where the bridge was being built and looked around. So what first? Carrie asked. Is that what you're wearing? One of the men asked. What's wrong with our clothes? I picked them out myself when we bought them, Carrie asked. This is a construction site, the man said. So, we are ninjas, we can handle anything here, Carrie said. Let's just get started, Tazuna said. A week later, Kushina was sitting next to a tree as she watched Carrie and Naruto and their clones help build the bridge, when a short old guy with glasses and a horrible-looking outfit came up to them. With him was two samurais. The short man walked up. Tahi bridge, what is this? He asked. A bridge to the mainland, Tazuna said. Did I give you permission to build this? The short man asked. We don't need your permission, Tazuna said. Tear it down or pay the consequences, the man said and turned to walk away. You have a week, he added and walked off. Kushina walked up to them. Who was that? She asked. His name is Gato. He has a strangle-on wave to where everything that comes in and out of the country is by his word and he gets 60% of everything, Tazuna said. Why have I never heard of him since I've been here? Kushina asked. I'm not surprised. Every time some talks about him they end up dead, Tazuna said. So will you continue to build the bridge? Kushina asked. I don't know, Tazuna said. What if I provide you all and your family with protection from him? Will you then? Kushina asked. If you can guarantee all of our safety then we will, Tazuna said. You all have my word that you and your family will be safe, Kushina said. How will you do that? Someone asked. Summoning no jutsu, Kushina said. Summoning a group of Ryu. Can you patrol the houses of these 10 men and make sure their family stays safe until this bridge is finished? She asked. Leave it to us, a dragon said, and they all looked at the men then flew off. How will they know which house is ours? Someone asked. Kushina shrugged. Ryus have their ways of finding this kind of stuff out on their own, she said. A week later, Gato walked up to the bridge. So you think you can defy me? He asked. This bridge is being built for the people of Wave. You want scare us off? Tazuna said. Gato snapped his fingers and 100 samurais came out of the trees. Make them pay for defying my warning, he said. The samurai started to run towards the bridge builders until Yugito and Kushina appeared in front of them. Naruto, Carrie, you're staying at Tsunami's after you're finished here. I'm doing a mission with Yugito, we should be back by tomorrow, Kushina said. Okay mom, Carrie and Naruto said. Yugito looked around. What's going on? She asked. That man didn't like that we Aries till building this bridge, Naruto said. Kushina looked at them. Well, it's a good as time as any to see how far along you are in your training, Naru, she said. Let's have some fun, Carrie said. You're on, I'm going to more, Naruto said. Put your katana where your mouth is, Carrie said and took off with great speed. Naruto wasn't far behind. They reached the samurais and with speed that the two genin level ninjas wasn't expecting, the first four had their swords out and attacking. Naruto took the two on the right while Carrie took the ones on the left. Naruto dodged and countered the two samurais, but was unable to find an opening in their guards to land a strike good enough to put the two down, and he was quickly realizing what Carrie meant when she told him that a real fight was nothing compared to training. As he remembered very well how he was supposed to step and position himself, but the two samurais wasn't cooperating and kept attacking one after another, not able to get in a rhythm. Before he knew what hit him, he was sent flying back and landed hard on the ground. Carrie was faring way better than Naruto was. She knew every step perfect and taught Naruto as much as she could before their mom took over training them both. Carrie was able to dodge and duck under each strike and used her speed to land quick but relatively small blows on each samurai. Carrie moved with swift and precise movements that all wind users used, but unlike her twin, she used her Gensogen to try and add her wind element in with her attacks. Yugito and Kushina watched the two. Think he will learn that he can't do the steps exactly as they are meant to be done while outnumbered, Yugito asked. Well, he doesn't know that he better learn it fast, but I think he will be fine. Carrie has told him as much as she could about fighting a real fight when she gets the chance, Kushina said. Naruto looked over from his position on the ground to see how Carrie was doing. She is having a much easier time than I am. Why? He asked himself quietly. Carrie ducked under an attack and brought her katana across the mon's stomach, putting him out of the battle, and went on to the next one. As that one fell, two more to their place. Naruto watched amazed. She isn't doing what she does in training, he said quietly. He watched her as he slowly got up. Fighting is much different than training. In training you master your forms, in a fight you do the best you can to keep with the forms, but never try and do them correctly all the time or you will die. He remembered Carrie telling him in one of her many stories about the travels she and Kushina went on. That's it. I can't concentrate on doing the forms right, just the best I can while defending myself, he said to himself. Naruto got back into his stance and waited. Pretty soon one samurai attacked in Naruto, but the samurai knew he would duck and stopped mid-swing and brought his katana down, hitting Naruto in the back. As the samurai was about to run at Carrie, who had her back to him, there was a pop and Naruto was gone. The samurai looked in surprise, and before he could react, a katana went across his back. Kushina smiled. Like they say, experience is the best teacher, she said to Yugito. Yes, but I'm surprised he figured it out so fast, Yugito said. Yeah, it can be, but Carrie learned the same way. They are more alike than even I thought. The only difference was Carrie used a regular bushin, Kushina said. Kage bushin no jutsu, the samurais heard. They turned behind them and saw Naruto and Carrie standing there with smirks on their faces. Took you long enough to figure it out, Naru-chan, Carrie said. Yay. This is my first real fight though, Naruto defended. Don't worry, you did good, but you should work on using your Gensogen while you fight. It makes it easier to surprise people when you add an element to your attacks, Carrie said. I'll remember that, Naruto said. Impressive display of control over your Kage bushin, Naru. It takes a lot of control not to lose it when hit like your was hit, Kushina said. What the hell is going on? Gato yelled. This is the difference between samurais and ninjas. We have more tricks up our sleeves, Kushina said. What is that supposed to mean? Gato asked. It's simple. While samurais are excellent with a sword, that's all they have. If you can outnumber them or cancel out their sword skills with equal or greater skills with a weapon, they are useless. Ninjas, on the other hand, always have ninjutsu and genjutsu to fall back on. Not to mention we have excellent hand-to-hand skills and our speed is above what most samurais can ever achieve, Kushina explained. We will see who have the greater skill, someone who they thought was the lead samurai said. Honestly, you're having trouble with two genins, the lowest level a ninja can be, and by samurai's standards they are not even skilled enough to touch a sword, yet they justed 4 of your men with just clones. Imagine if I was to step into this fight, you all would be dead within a matter of seconds, Kushina said while waving her hand dismissively. How dare you talk to us like you're so high and mighty, some of the samurais yelled. You know you should never take your eyes off your target, Kushina said. The samurais turned and looked at the twins and all 27 combined clones. Each clone held a Rasengan in their hand. What's that? The leader of the samurais asked. Oh, just a jutsu called Rasengan. This is the basic level of the jutsu, Carrie said. Before the samurai could say anything else, Carrie vanished from their sights and struck him with the jutsu. Naruto and their clones followed, and soon the samurai started to fall one by one as the twins and their clones took them out with Rasengan after Rasengan. Good job, Yugito said. Thanks, Naruto said. You just need a little more refining in the basics and we can start the next level of your training, Kushina said. When do I get the Ryu contract? Naruto asked. When you master the third comma of your Gensogen, Kushina said. Where did that Gato guy go? Carrie asked. He ran off, Yugito said. Well, me and Yugito have to go. I expect these samurais to be burned before the day is over, Kushina said. In Konoha, Kuro arrived back at the Inuzuka compound and found Sume in her office doing paperwork. She said she will think about your offer, the Inu said. Thanks Kuro, you're the best. If you're hungry, Hana is feeding the other Inus in the back, Sume said. I'll see you later, Kuro said and ran to get some food. Sume sighed and looked at her clock. Damn, I'm going to be late, she said, getting up and leaving her office. Kiba, tell Hana she is in charge until I get back. I have a council meeting to get to, she said to her youngest. Okay mom, hope they don't tire you out too much. Tonight is family night, Kiba said. Sume smiled. You know nothing will make me miss tonight. Even if I'm almost dead I will be here, she said. I know mom, that's why you're the best, Kiba said. Sume smiled and kissed on the head and walked out. She arrived at the council meeting late. Sume, is something wrong? You're never late, Shikaku asked. No, I'm fine. Just a lot of paperwork today, Sume said. I noticed I have more than usual also, Hiyashi said. Yay. I think every one of us have more than usual, Inoichi said. Well, since everyone is here, let's get started, the Hokage said. Sume looked at him with a lot less respect than before after Kurenai told her about Naruto the day he was born, but didn't let that affect her judgment and sat down. I think we need to do something about these Uzumakis. They are starting to cause problems for us. It's better if we handle this now, Danzo said. I agree, Homura said. We can't take drastic actions just yet, the third said. What do you suggest? Kaharu asked. That we watch them, but not approach them. If they show signs of become too powerful, then we step in, the third said. Sume snorted loudly. Do you have a problem? Danzo asked. The hell I do. I have spent my entire life for the past 12 trying to protect that boy from you during these damn meetings, while you spent the last 12 years trying to turn him in a mindless weapon or have him kicked out the village. Now that he is out the village, you want him back or dead, she said. I don't want him back, Danzo said. Bullshit. We all know how you work. You send your route to kill them, then you will pop up with 2 new 12-year-olds that just happens to look alike and have the Gensogen. You brainwash them and turn them into midlessing zombies. Danzo, your game is as old as you and it's too predictable, Sume smirked. Besides, in order to get near Carrie and Naruto you will need to get past a very protective Kushina, and if you happen by some wild luck beat her in battle, how do you think Naruto, the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed demon, will take to his mother dying? She asked. No one wants Naruto or his family dead, the third said. Yay, we all believe you, Sume said with sarcastic dripping all over her words. Is there something you know that we don't? Hiyashi asked. Yes, in fact there is a lot you don't know about our oh so beloved Hokage, Sume said. Why don't you fill us in? A surprising voice said from the window. Tsunade. What a pleasure, the Hokage said with surprise as everyone looked at the Sennin who vowed never to return to this village. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Now what's this about there being something about you that none of us know? Tsunade asked. I have no clue what she is talking about. Must be the increase in paperwork for every important figure in the village lately, the Hokage said. Tsun snorted again. If that snort was anything, I would guess that what you said is wrong, very wrong, Tsunade said. Oh, how wrong it is, Tsun said. Well, why don't you fill us in? Tsunade asked. I have a better idea, Tsun said with a smirk and puffed out the room. How rude, Kohora said. Tsun came back in a puff with Kurenai, and to Hiyashi's surprise, Hinata. What does my daughter have to do with this? Hiyashi asked. Well, why don't you ask her? Tsun suggested. Hinata, what do you know about Naruto and why he is no longer in this village? Tsun has led us to believe that the Hokage and others in the village, besides the obvious, sent a pointed look at the three elders, has committed a crime against the village. Hiyashi asked as nicely as he could with his growing agitation at being kept in the dark about something that could endanger his daughter. Hinata gulped and looked around the room. More like TRTR treason, she said. Treason? That's a big thing to accuse without any proof, the third said. Perhaps you shouldn't interrupt without hearing what she has to say, Tsun said. Hinata, if you would please explain why you would suggest that the Hokage can be accused of treason, Hiyashi asked. Why should we believe what this girl says? Danzo asked. You will refer to my daughter as Hinata or not at all, and if you don't want to hear it then you're free to leave, but as it probably has something to do with you I'm certain you will want to stay and defend your position, Hiyashi said with his famous Hyuga glare. If you would please continue, Hinata, Tsunade asked the now terrified Hyuga heir. Hinata gulped and looked at the ground. We found a letter left by the four Hokage when Naruto was tricked into stealing the forbidden scroll, she stuttered out. A letter from the fourth, what did it say? Tsunade asked. Well, from what I remember was, and I quote, to whoever finds this letter, I have committed a great crime, a crime so great that no father would be willing to face himself in the morning and not be able to face his son. To Naruto Uzumaki, my son, I am sorry, I can't express how sorry I am for how I ruined your life. I'm sure you're wondering what I'm talking about and who I am. Well, I am Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage, and your father Naruto. The crime I committed is the sealing of Kyuubi no Kitsune into him at his birth. Now Naruto, I know what you're thinking. Why you and what of your mother? Well, I chose you because as Hokage I can't ask anyone to do something I can't do myself. It pains me so much to write this knowing that my wish for you to be treated as a hero will not be followed. I just hope you find one or two good friends who see you for who you are and not the Kyuubi. As for your mother, I faked your death, even creating a fake body, and told her you didn't make the birth. She tried to convince me that it wasn't true, but I couldn't let her live with the pain of seeing you every day with how much you look like me. It would have her from the inside out. Please believe me, I did what I thought was best to save you, your twin sister Carrie, and Kushina's life. Carrie is your twin sister. She is a few minutes older and look very much as much like Kushina as you look like me. Please be strong, and when you find your mother and sister tell them how sorry I am and I love them both. Hinata said. And the third has done everything in his power to make sure Naruto never finds out about his mother and sister, even going as far as try and prevent Naruto from finding out where he could find them to send a message to them. If it wasn't for Tsun, Naruto would probably be so depressed right now that he would willingly give in to the Kitsune and remove the seal, Kurenai added. Tsunade had a bunch of emotions going on after hearing that. On one hand she trusted Sarutobi, but on the other what he did was beyond treason and he should be executed. She had to sit down before she fell from the shock of the story. Shizune, I need sake, she yelled. Tsunade-sama, you promised, Shizune replied, sticking her head in the window. Shizune sake now, if you heard what I did you would be asking for some also, Tsunade said as she broke the small table next to her. I'll be right back, Shizune said. I'm curious, did the fourth pay you off to keep Kushina a secret? Hiyashi asked. I cannot be bought like some cheap sake, the third said in a monotone. I still want to know how you kept this information about Naruto's parents a secret all this time, Sum said. There is a reason Root was allowed to continue after Minato died, the third said as if it didn't matter. I shouldn't have came back and just went looking for Naruto, Tsunade complained. Tsunade-sama, here you go, Shizune said, jumping in the window. Lady Tsunade, what do you suggest we do about this? Sum asked. I agree something needs to be done, but I'm not part of this council, Tsunade said, getting up. Where are you going? Shizune asked. To find Naruto, Tsunade said. He is in Wave, Sum said. I suggest both the Hokage and elders be put up for treason, Hiashi said. I agree, Sum said. Too bad without my approval you can't execute anyone, the Hokage said. You have a point, such a dilemma, Sum said. Help get rid of the Uzumakis and we can work out an agreement that splits all of the Uzumaki clan's possessions up between the clans, Danzo said. I have a better idea, Sum said. What's that? The Hokage asked. Sum smirked. I'm betrothing Hana to Naruto, she said. The look on the Hokage's face was priceless and even Tsunade had to laugh. Wonderful idea, I will send a betrothing letter to Kushina after the meeting, Inoichi said. Hiashi looked at Hinata. I don't think I have to worry about that, Hinata has taken care of it herself, isn't that right Hinata? He asked. Hinata blushed and slowly nodded. So since we can't punish you like any other person in the village, I will make your life as difficult as possible, Sum said. Shizune, let's get going, Tsunade said. Sum, Heishi, Inoichi, Shikaku, Shibi, and Shuzo was sitting in a private box in the Junin's bar. So what now? Inoichi asked. I sent the marriage contracts out to Kushina, we just need to wait for a reply. I even sent one for Hinata, at her request, Hiashi said. I don't know about you all, but I'm going to start preparing Shikamaru for what is to come, Shikaku said. I agree, we all should up their training, Sum said. I already did. I'm training Hinata and Neji personally now, Hiashi said. Sum snapped her fingers. Yes, Lady Sum, the Inuzuka Anbu who was sitting on his Inu's back asked. Find my pups, have them meet me at our training ground, Sum said. Yes, the Anbu said, then vanished. Since when did you start walking around with your clan Anbu? Inoichi asked. Since I started to go against the Hokage. I might think he needs to die, but I'm not stupid enough to walk around without backup, Sum said, rubbing Kuro's head, making the Inu bark. In Wave, Tazuna with the help of Kari and Naruto plus their clones got further on the bridge than they could have hoped in the 10 days they have been working on it. They was in the middle of a lunch break when it started to get foggy. Everyone stay low to the ground, Kushina ordered from her spot on a tree branch. There was a loud clank, and the fog cleared out. So you was able to sense my attack, was you? The bandaged man asked. The fog was a dead giveaway. Why are you here, Zabuza? Can't find enough work so you're picking on a defenseless town? Kushina asked. From what I heard, these people are not defenseless. In fact, my contract have nothing to do with the people of this town, but those two, Zabuza said, pointing to Naruto and Kari. Really? Then you're going to have to go through me if you want to even touch my kids, Kushina said. Kushina, do we have to do this? Zabuza asked. Depends. Are you going to try and harm my kids in any way? Kushina asked. You know our code. Never go back on our word, Zabuza said. Yay, but you're not part of the clan anymore. Your parents abandoned us and ran to Kiri, Kushina said. Yay. But I'm still an Uzumaki and nothing can change that, Zabuza said. Yay, well then why are you so willingly to the two only Uzumakis able to help our clan, or does the future of our clan and your cousins not mean anything to you? Kushina asked. Zabuza sighed. I only took this mission because I needed the money. I had no idea that it involved my only living cousins, he said. So what will you do? If I have to, I will fight you to save my kids, Kushina asked. I won't turn my back on my family like my parents did, Zabuza said. Kushina smiled. Good, she said. I'll be right back, I am with some people I'm training. Most are about your kid's age, the only one who is older is helping me train them, Zabuza said. Kushina looked at him. You know it's against our laws to train outsiders in our ways, she said. I know that, I was training them to be ninjas, but the problem is all but one are kunoichis, Zabuza said. Well, go get them so we can introduce ourselves, Kushina said. I'm the older one here, Zabuza said. Yay, but I'm the clan head, Kushina said with a smile. Whatever, Zabuza said, walking away. He came back with a group of kunoichis and one shinobi. Okay, everyone, introduce yourselves, he said. Smooth, Zabuza, I can see why you have all the ladies all over you, Kushina said with sarcasm. Just introduce yourself, Zabuza said. I'm Kushina Uzumaki, head of the Uzumaki clan, even though Zabuza is my older cousin, she said. I'm Kari Uzumaki, daughter of Kushina and older twin of Naruto, she said. I'm Naruto, the final piece to the twin gang, he said with a thumbs up and smiling. I'm Kagura, the white-haired kunoichi said. I'm Fu, 15 and was the first to be found by Zabuza and Kagura, the green-haired kunoichi said. I'm Haku, the only guy in the group said. I'm Isaribi, the black-haired kunoichi said with bandages over her body. Kagura, why does your name sound familiar? Kushina asked. I was once a kunoichi of Konoha, she replied. Oh, I remember now, you wanted to become Tsunade's apprentice, Kushina said. That was one of my goals, until I was banished, Kagura said. Well, now that we know each other, can you explain what's going on? Zabuza asked. Well, Naru and Kari are helping them build this bridge, Kushina said. Oh, well, let's get out of the way, Zabuza said. Never thought I would see you again, Kagura, they heard. They all turned. Tsunade, Kagura said. Kagura, I know you're mad about not becoming my apprentice, but I have other things to take care of, Tsunade said. Tsunade, what brings you here? Kushina asked. I just came from Konoha. I heard what happened to Naruto and how he was split up from you, Tsunade said. Can we not talk about this? Kushina asked. Sure, but you should know that the village has effectively split itself into two villages and is in a cold war at the moment, Tsunade said. How is Hinata-chan? Naruto asked. She was the one who told the council what the letter from Minato said, Tsunade said. In Konoha, Hinata, Tenten, and Ino walked into the Inuzuka compound. Hana, what's so important that you needed us to come here? Tenten asked. I know you all was busy training, but I was thinking and I want to make you all honorary Inuzuka members, Hana said. Really? Ino asked, shocked. Yes, I got Mom and Kuro's permission. You all will receive an Inu that you can train with. Of course you won't be able to talk to it like an Inuzuka, but they still can fight and grow to be the same size as a normal Inuzuka Inu, meaning in a few years you will be able to ride on it, Hana said. What about Naruto-kun and Kari? Hinata asked. They will receive one also. Mom is have one sent to them with instructions on how to train them and what to feed them, Hana said. Soom came in the yard with 3 small Inus following her. Hana, did you tell them yet? She asked. Yes, Mom, Hana answered. Okay, these Inus have already been trained to take orders from you 3, they will only answer to you. Now pick which you want, Soom said. Hinata picked the black Inu, Ino picked the white Inu, while Tenten picked the brown Inu. 2 years later, a 14-year-old Hinata sat on a random roof with her now waist-tall Inu looking at the sky. Orbellum, what do you think Naruto-kun is doing right now? She asked. Orbellum barked a few times at Hinata. Yes, you're right, we should write him, Hinata said. Orbellum barked again and licked Hinata. Let's go, girl, Hinata said, and the two jumped off towards the Hyuga compound. As she ran, she felt someone following her. She jumped the gap between the building she was on and the one across from her, while flipping and releasing 2 kunais blocking the 2 that was headed for her. Both Hinata and Orbellum landed ready for anything. Across from her was 2 ninjas, both covered by a long orange sleeveless jacket with a red flame on the bottom. On their arms was fingerless FG gloves that went to their elbow with what she guessed was weights in the large orange part at the bottom of the gloves. On the back of the gloves was a protective metal plate with a whirlpool symbol on it, and a mask on their face. Hinata looked at them and their entire posture was the mirror image of each other. They both had long red hair and 2 katanas, one on their left hip and a blue one on their back over their right shoulder. Both was looking at Hinata with their arms crossed over their chest. Hinata rubbed Urbellam's head, then straightened out her own full-length purple jacket. Urbellam then jumped off away from the 3 at lightning speed. Hinata looked from one to the other. Should I attack first or will one of you? She asked in an innocent but confident way. Both ninjas jumped off towards Hinata, who met the 2 in her own katana and kunai, blocking the katana the 2 had in their hands with a loud clank, in the middle of the 2 buildings. The strength of the blows sent the 3 back to their original building, then Hinata jumped across as soon as she landed, moving her katana at the head of the ninja on the left, making him flip back, revealing his orange pants and mesh shirt. Hinata then without any hesitation went after the second of the 2. The ninja blocked the blow from Hinata and ducked under her kunai while kicking out at her feet. Hinata flipped over the low kick, revealing her own purple dress and multiple weapons pouches attached to her waist. The shinobi attacked as soon as Hinata landed, forcing her on the defense under his relentless attack. The other ninja quickly joined the assault, making Hinata show off her extreme flexibility as she ducked and dodged between their attacks, trying not to be hit. The 2 ninjas then flipped back all of a sudden, showing that the second was a kunoichi wearing orange pants like the shinobi and tube shirt meshing under it to cover the rest of her body. She also had a meshing going up to her neck with a white collar keeping it up. Both had hitai-ates on their left leg with the whirlpool symbol on it. Tenten landed in front of Hinata with her inu and Hinata's inu. 2 against 1 isn't fair, she said. Tenny, I had this under control, Hinata said. Well, Urbellam brought Drago, so I had to follow, Tenten said. Whatever, Hinata said. Are you 2 finished talking? The kunoichi asked. Tenten went into her own full-length jacket and took out 2 kunais. Let's go, she said. Hinata threw her kunai at the roof the 2 was standing on. As soon as it landed, it exploded. I'll take the kunoichi, you take the shinobi, she said. Sure, Tenten said and jumped at the shinobi. Both their inus just sat back and watched. Hinata and the kunoichi exchanged strikes with their katanas at high speed and strength. They jumped back and was about to get back into their fight when an anbu appeared between the 2. Hinata looked at the anbu, then at Tenten to find an anbu between her and the other shinobi also. You know you're forbidden to fight outside training grounds, Hinata, the anbu said. Hinata moved her jacket enough so her mask with her Hyuga symbol was showing under her sheath. I don't take orders from you, she said. Those are not my orders but the Hokage's, the anbu said. I don't take orders from him either, Hinata said as if it was common knowledge. You will show respect for the Hokage, the anbu said. Hinata pulled her mask off. I don't take orders from anyone but the head of the Hyuga clan and only the head of the Hyuga clan, she said, putting her mask on. Tenten also grabbed her mask. Hina, we are going to be late, she said. Well, we should finish here then, Hinata said. Yes, let's make it quick, Tenten said. Hold it, someone else said before the 4 can get back to their fight. A kunoichi walked up to them. She was dressed exactly like the 2 Hinata was just fighting, except she had a long scroll hanging loosely from her back over her own blue katana. What did I tell you 2 about running off like that? She asked. Sorry, Mom, the shinobi said. It's fine. Following rules is something that our family isn't good at, she said, then turned to Hinata and moved her mask to the side. How have you been, Hinata and Tenten? She asked. Hinata and Tenten looked at her. Kushina, they both asked. Yup. Those twins of mine always find trouble no matter where we go, she said, shoving her thumb her kids. The 2 took their masks off. Told you she wouldn't take our attack serious, Carrie said to Naruto. Haim-chan, I missed you so much, Naruto said, smiling at her. Hinata looked at him, then tackled him in a hug. Oji-kun, she said as she fell on top of him. Naruto laughed as he hugged her back. What are you doing back here? The Anbu asked. Hinata ignored the Anbu and sat up straddled on Naruto looking down at him. You changed your hair color, she said. Yay. I wanted it to be the same color as Mom's and Riri's, Naruto said smiling at her. Hinata looked at it then tilted her head to the side. She was quiet for a minute. I like it, she finally said. Naruto let out a breath. I thought you wouldn't like it, he said. Tenten cleared her throat. I'm still here, you know, she said. Naruto looked over at her. Hi Tenten, how have you been? He asked. Tenten shrugged. Good, I guess. Causing as much trouble for the Hokage as possible is always fun, she said. So Oji-kun, how have you been? Hinata asked. Naruto sat up so he was leaning back on his arms. Good, we met a lot of people, but this one guy, named Haku, keeps trying to put the moves on my sister, he said. Key word, trying. Ruto never let him get far with his advances. Besides, Fu and Isaribi have been trying to get you to date them for a while now, Carrie said. Not like you will let me date anyone anyway, Naruto said. Carrie rolled her eyes. Hina is still straddled on you, so stop complaining, she said. That's because Haim-chan and Ayame Haim have always been my friends, Naruto pointed out. No, I just like them two better than I like Fu and Isaribi at the moment, Carrie said. So, Tenten, have you became the weapons specialist yet? Naruto asked, changing the subject. Not yet, but I'm close. I taught Hina to use her katana, Tenten said with pride. Not to interrupt, but let's get moving. We told the others we would join back up with them in a few hours, Kushina said. Hinata got off Naruto and grabbed his hand. Ayame will be so excited to see you're here to visit, she said as she led them to Ichiraku Ramen. They walked into the restaurant. Ayame, guess who came to visit? Hinata said. Ayame looked up from the counter. Naru-kun, Carrie, she said, running from behind the counter to hug the two. Hello Ayame, Carrie said. Are you hungry? I'll get father to make you some free ramen, Ayame said. No, you don't have to, Carrie said. What, speak for yourself. I never turn down free ramen, Naruto said. You never turn down free anything that's edible, Carrie said. Wait, it will be finished in a few minutes. Ayame then ran into the kitchen. Are you sure she never had ninja training? Tenten asked. I'll leave you two for now. Stay out of trouble. I need to talk to Sum, Kushina said and left. Ayame came back with their ramen and they all shared stories about what they've been through the last 2 years, giving as much details as possible so the others can get an idea of how skilled they are. They all was getting ready to leave. Hey wait, can Naru-kun stay here for a while? Ayame asked. What, I want to be with Oji-kun, Hinata said. He will be at the Hyuga compound the entire time he is here, Ayame pointed out. So, I saw him first, Hinata said, wrapping her arms around him. Hina just let him stay here for a few hours, Carrie said. Why? Hinata whined. If you do, I'll tell you things Ruto did that he won't tell you, Carrie said. What, I resent that deal, Naruto said. Of course you do. Let's go Hina, Carrie said, pulling the Hyuga out the restaurant. Well, what the hell am I supposed to do now? Tenten asked. You can come with us, Hinata yelled back in the restaurant. Ayame grabbed Naruto's arm. Dad, I'm going out, she called and left before he could reply. At the Inuzuka compound, Kushina arrived at the Inuzuka compound with little resistance. Although she felt she was being followed, she ignored them and continued to lead the two Inus that was following her. Mystic and Tsurugi, you two behave when we get in the compound, she said. The two Inus barked in reply. Sum came to the gate. Kushina, how have you been? Wow, the twins have been taking great care of their Inus. Look at their color, it's even better than Akamaru's, and Kiba is part of the clan, she said while rubbing the Inu's fur. Yay, the twins are very good with them. Sometimes I wonder if they are part Inuzuka the way they are when they interact with them, Kushina laughed. Come in, Hana will want to check them to make sure they are growing properly, Sum said. Sum led them to the back on the compound where Hana was. Mystic, Tsurugi, Hana called when she saw them. The two Inus ran up to her and started to lick her. Hana laughed. I missed Yuta, she said. Hana, can you check them to make sure they are growing the way they should? Sum asked. Okay, Mom, Hana said. Outside of Konoha, Fu jumped off the tree she was sitting on. What's taking them so long? She asked in frustration. Calm down. Give them a few hours, Haku said. Shut up. You're just saying that because Carrie told you to stay put, Fu retorted. I'm not, Haku said. Really? Then why are you still sitting in the same spot you was in when she left? Fu asked. I just don't feel like moving, Haku said. Will you two shut up? Kagura said. Make me, Fu said. I'm not Haku, you can't bait me into your little games, Kagura said and proceeded to ignore the Jinchuriki. Shun stood up. I'm going to check on them, she said. I'll come with you, Tsunade said. Fine, but no sake, Shizune said. Why not? Tsunade asked. Because I said so, Shizune said. Then I'm not going, Tsunade said sitting back down. Fine with me, Shizune said and started to walk towards Konoha. With Ayame and Naruto, Ayame went into her room as Naruto sat on the couch in her apartment. Naru-kun, when are you leaving? She called. I don't know, a few hours I guess, Naruto responded. Ayame stuck her head out her door. A few hours, when will you be back? She asked. I don't know, Mom didn't want to come here this time, we are only here because both me and Carrie wanted to visit, Naruto said. Oh, Ayame said and stuck her head back in the room. You okay, Ayame Haim? Naruto asked. Naruto heard a few things fall and a loud, ouch, and got worried. Then the door flew open and Ayame came out with 2 bags. I'm leaving with you, she said. Naruto blinked. What about your father? He asked. I don't care, I'm 16, I can make this decision myself, and I'm going with you, she said. Are you sure? Naruto asked. Ayame sat her bags down and walked up to the couch straddling him. I wouldn't want to be anywhere but with you, she said and kissed him. Okay, I'll have to tell Mom though, she hates surprises, Naruto said. Okay, Ayame said. Ayame Haim, why are you looking at me like that? He asked. You're almost 15, right? She asked. Yay, why? Naruto asked. Well, I'm not really good with jutsus, but I did learn one jutsu. Want to try it with me? Ayame asked. Really, what jutsu? Naruto asked. It's called protection no jutsu, Hana taught it to me, Ayame said. I never heard of that jutsu, Naruto said. That's because it's a jutsu only kunoichis can use, Ayame said. Oh, Naruto said. Want to use it with me? Ayame asked. How it's only a jutsu a kunoichi can use? Naruto asked. Ayame kissed him. But I need you to use it, she said. Why? Naruto asked confused. Ayame kissed him again. Do you trust me? She asked. Of course, Naruto said. Good. Take your clothes off and we can use the jutsu and have some fun, she said. With Shizune. Shizune walked through the gates and started to walk around. Where are they? She asked herself. Shizune, Carrie called. Shizune looked on the roof. SSE was on and jumped up there. Carrie, where is Naru and Kushi? She asked. Ruto is with Ayame and Mom is at the Inuzuka compound, Carrie said. Carrie, go get Kushi. I'll find Naru. We need to leave before the others each other, mainly Haku and Fu, Shizune said. I'm sure Ruto wouldn't mind if Haku was, Carrie joked. Maybe. Just hurry, Shizune said. Hina, you and Tenten coming with me? Carrie asked. No, I have to go to the compound for something, Hinata said and took off. Tenten and Carrie looked at her retreating figure. What was that about? Carrie asked. I have an idea, Tenten said. Well, let's get going, Carrie said. Let's stop by my house first. It's the same direction as the Inuzuka compound, Tenten said. Okay, Carrie said. Ayame's apartment. Shizune found Naruto's chakra signature in an apartment building. She stopped on a roof across the building and looked through the window, surprised at what she was seeing. After getting over her shock, she made a quick one-hand sign and shunshined into the room. Naru, what are you doing? She asked, surprising both Naruto and Ayame. Shizune, what are you doing in here? How did you get in? Naruto yelled. Shunshined. Get dressed, we are leaving soon, Shizune said. Ayame made sure not to turn her body. Can we finish first? She asked. Sorry, but we need to be going, Shizune said. But I'm so close, Ayame said. How are you having without the risk of being pregnant anyway? Shizune asked. Hana taught me a jutsu to protect myself, Ayame said. Shizune, can you leave? Naruto yelled. I'll be waiting on that roof. You have 10 minutes to clean yourself. Shizune pointed out the window, then jumped out the window. Naruto sighed. Sorry, Ayame Hime, he said. Don't be sorry. We have enough time to finish and shower, Ayame told him, then proceeded to rock and bounce on him. At the Hyuga compound, Hinata reached the compound and ran through it looking for her father. She found him in a meeting. Father, she called out. The entire room turned to look at her. What, Hinata? We are in an important meeting, Hiyashi asked. I need to ask you something, she replied. Can this wait until after the meeting? Hiyashi asked. No, it can't. This is important and I need to ask you now, Hinata said. Okay, ask away, Hiyashi said. Lord Hiyashi, we are in a meeting, we don't have time for this, an elder said. Hinata just ignored him. Can I leave the village? She asked. Leave the village? You mean with your team? Hiyashi asked. No, not with my team, Hinata said. Then with who? Hiyashi asked. With Oji-kun, Hinata answered. He is here now? Hiyashi asked, surprised. Yes, Hinata said. Is she also here? Hiyashi asked. Yes, at the Inuzuka compound, Hinata said. Get packed, and pack for Hanabi also, Hiyashi said. This meeting is over, he added, and walked out the room faster than Hinata had ever saw him move. At the Inuzuka compound, Hiyashi arrived at the compound, surprising the guards at how fast he was moving. I need to see Kushina now, he demanded. We will retrieve her right away, Lord Hiyashi, the guard said. Kushina came out with both her kids Inus, Sume, Kari, and Tenten. What do you want, Hiyashi? She asked. I need to ask a favor from you, Hiyashi said. Why should I do anything for you? What have you done for my son? Kushina asked. Can we talk inside? Hiyashi asked. Come on, Sume said and led them further into the compound. No one outside in Inuzuka will hear us, she said. Now why should I do anything for you? Kushina asked again. Look, I know I wasn't the best person, he was cut off. You ignored Naruto's cries for help multiple times, Kushina yelled. Hiyashi sighed. I know and I'm sorry, it's just I wasn't myself, Hiyashi said. Kushina just crossed her arms over her chest and looked at him with a look that wasn't believing what he said. Kari mimicked her. We don't believe what you're saying, Kari said. Look, I made some mistakes, at least give me the chance to make up for them, Hiyashi asked. No, Kushina said with a defiant tone. Hiyashi sighed. Fair enough, I deserve it, but at least hear me out, he asked. Kushina looked over at Kari. What do you think? She asked. Kari thought. Well, Ruto would at least hear him out, so we should, she said. Kushina looked back at Hiyashi. We will hear you out. If your proposal don't impress both me and Riri, then we are done with you, she said. Fair deal. Now the proposal isn't with me but my daughters, he said. We don't want to make a deal that involves your daughters, Kushina said. I don't think you understand, Hiyashi said. What is there to understand? You're trying to deal off your daughters, Kushina asked. We had a deal, Hiyashi said. As a witness of this, Kushina, you did make a deal to at least hear him out completely, Sume said. Fine, Kushina said. Thank you. Now my daughters are Hinata and Hanabi, he said. Your Highness father, Kari yelled. Yes, Hiyashi said. Impossible. She said you was a good father, Kari said. Dad, what's going on? Hinata asked as she and Hanabi walked up to them. You was late for training me, again, Hanabi said. Hiyashi sighed. Kushina, I want you to raise them both, he said. Everyone looked at him in surprise. What? Kushina asked. I may be their father, but is only so much I can teach them. Most of that is laws and how to protect themselves, but you can make them into a real kunoichi and teach them things I can only hope to teach them, Hiyashi said. But why would you make a deal with me raising your daughters? Kushina asked. Like I said, I made a lot of mistakes, both towards you and them. This is the best way to fix them, he replied. Mistakes? Hinata asked. Yes, the way I treated you when your mother died was wrong and a poor excuse of me being a father. And towards Naruto, although I protected him from the council, I could have done more. All I did was keep the council from him but didn't do anything to stop others in the village from hurting him. If it wasn't for Sume showing how my lack of attention was affecting both him and you, I would have probably driven you away from me, Hiyashi explained. I understand all that. You already sent a marriage proposal for Hinata to me, but why this all of a sudden? Kushina asked in confusion. It's only been since Naruto was 9 that I realized how my refusal to provide complete protection was causing him harm, and Hinata would have gotten herself hurt to protect him as I didn't do something. Even now all she does is train as much as she can to be stronger to protect him from whoever tries to hurt him, Hiyashi said. I can see Hinata, but send Hanabi with me, Kushina asked. Because, without Hinata here as acting heir, the elders will try and push the position on Hanabi. While she knows all the laws, I don't want them to have to go through the things me and Hazashi went through. It broke us apart, I can't let that happen to them, Hiyashi said. So I don't have the choice to just take Hinata? Kushina asked. Either both or none, Hiyashi said. What do you think, Riri? Kushina asked her oldest. Naruto would be sad if don't bring Hina, but we can't leave Hanabi, Carrie replied. She thought for a minute. I think the only ones who can answer this is Hina and Hanabi, she finally said. Shizune, Naruto, and Ayame came into the group. What's going on? Naruto asked. Everyone looked at them. Naruto, why do you and Ayame smell like each other? Hana asked. Both teens blushed. Ayame, you didn't, Hinata said with a disbelieving tone. Kushina, is it fine if I come with you? Ayame asked, changing the subject. Kushina sighed. Coming here is proving to be a much bigger headache than I wanted, she said. Hinata glared at Ayame. You did, I can't believe you, she said. You're just mad because I was first, Ayame said. You know I wanted to be, Hinata said. Okay, we have things to solve first. Hinata and Hanabi, are you two coming or not? Kushina asked. I'm coming, Hinata said. Do I have to? Hanabi asked. Hanabi, do you really want the elders bothering you as much as they bothered me? Hinata asked. I'll come, Hanabi said immediately. Good, Ayame, since you don't have ninja training, what can you do to make up for the protection you will constantly need? Kushina asked. Mom, both Naruto and Carrie yelled at her. What? Everyone has to pull their part in our clan, even the non-kunoichis, Kushina said. But she has been Naruto's longest friend, even longer than Hina, and you're going to make her pay for our protection, Carrie asked. It's fine, Carrie, and I may not be a kunoichi, even though Hana taught me one jutsu, but I do love cooking and is willing to cook for everyone, Ayame said. Hana, you taught her a jutsu? Sume asked. Well, she kept asking me to teach her one, Hana said. What jutsu did you teach her? Sume asked. Do I have to say? Hana asked. Yes, Sume and Kushina said. I'm pretty sure I know what jutsu she taught her, Shizune said. What jutsu was it? Kushina asked. It was protection no jutsu, Shizune said. Are you sure? Sume asked. I saw it in action myself, Shizune said. Kushina looked at the blushing teens. You didn't use that jutsu, did you? She asked. Ayame slowly nodded. Ruto, you and Carrie like making my life as hard as possible, don't you? She asked. Carrie just smiled. It's what we do, she said. We have no choice but to bring you now, Kushina said. Why? Naruto asked. Because that jutsu only have a 85% chance of working. There is a better jutsu to use than that one. I don't even know why Hana was able to learn that one, Kushina said. I tried to teach her the other one, but she couldn't get it right, so I taught her that one, Hana defended. Let's just go, Kushina said. So who all is coming? Shizune asked. Tenten, Ayame, Hinata, and Hanabi, Kushina said. I want to come. You're taking all my friends, Hana said. Hell, we might as well go see if Ino want to come, Kushina said, throwing her hands in the air. Well, let's hurry before Kagura Fu and Haku for being too loud, Shizune said. Haku can die for all I care, Naruto said. Told you he wouldn't care if Haku died, Kari said. They arrived at the Yamanaka flower shop. Can I help you? Our store isn't big enough for all you, Ino said. Wait here. Come on, twins from hell, Kushina said. They walked into the store. Is Ino here? Kushina asked. You're speaking to Ino, she replied. Oh, well, since I received a marriage proposal from your father, we are here to ask if you want to leave the village and travel with us, Kushina asked. Ino looked at them. Who exactly are you? She asked. Oh, sorry, Kushina said and took of her mask along with Naruto and Kari. Dad said you would be back to ask if I wanted to come with you, Ino said. Really? How did he know we would be back? Naruto asked. Simple, Ruto. We agreed to the marriage contract, Kushina said. I think I received all the brains, Kari said. Are you calling me stupid? Naruto asked. Enough, you two. Ino, are you coming? Kushina asked. I guess. It would be more exciting than staying here. Let me write a note to my father, Ino said. So now the group plus Ino was walking through the village towards the gate. They walked out when Kari looked around. Where did Ruto go this time? She asked. Kushina looked around and sighed. Riri, go get your brother, she said. Kari turned and ran through the gate. As she ran, her eyes shifted, constantly looking for her twin. She spotted him in a restaurant. Ruto, what are you doing? She asked, punching him. Mom is going to be mad at you when we get back, she added. Look, Kurenai and Anko, Naruto said. So? Kari said. Kurenai has been like an aunt to me since I met her, Naruto said. Kari looked at the two adults who was looking at the two. Sorry, but our mom is waiting for us, she said. We will go with you, Kurenai said. You don't have to, Kari said. We want to, Anko said. With the others. Kushina led them to the clearing that the rest of the group was with. Kushi, how did you leave with 2 teens and 2 Inus, but return with 5 teens, a brat, and 3 Inus, and none are the ones you left with? Tsunade asked. Well, you see. Kushina was cut off. Who is this cutie? Haku asked. Get away from Inoheim, Naruto said, coming out of nowhere and punching Haku in the face. Everyone's sweat dropped. How do they keep doing that? Fu wondered. Look who we found, Kari said. Those two really are a magnet for collecting people, Tsunade said. Ow, idiot, that hurt, Haku yelled, getting up. That was the point, Naruto yelled back. I'll get you back, Haku yelled and charged at Naruto. I'll like to see you try, Naruto yelled and charged at Haku. Kari appeared between them with her katanas drawn. If you two don't stop now, I will put you both in the hospital, she threatened. Haku immediately stopped. Naruto pulled out his own katanas. Let's see you try, he challenged. Kushina face-palmed. This what I get for allowing them to carry their own katanas, she said. Are you going to stop them? Hinata asked. No. They do this all the time, Kushina said. Before the two could charge each other, a group of ninjas walked into the clearing. What do we have here? The leader asked. Orochimaru, what are you doing here? Tsunade asked. Tsunade Haim, how have life been without your lover? Orochimaru asked with sarcasm. Kari, Naruto with me now, Haku with Zabuza, Fu and Isaribi with Kagura, Hinata and Tenten with Kurenai, Hana and Ino with Anko, Hanabi and Ayame stay with Shizune and don't leave her side, Kushina ordered. Again, what are you doing here, Orochimaru? Tsunade asked.